Hasn't it been a wonderful year for motorhoming this year? We've had some wonderful adventures, but now's the time that we won't use the motorhome as much. With the motorhome being in secure storage and there's no electricity hookup or anything down here, I just want to show you exactly what I do just when it gets to cold time, winter time, and it doesn't get used as often. What we do to try and reduce dampness, etc. in the motorhome. Right, first off, I make sure that the whole freshwater system's drained off. I drain the freshwater tank, I run the pump, I leave all the taps open. From the last trip we had out, I left all the taps open, and also the frost valve. That's shaking most of the water out. I've also drained the wastewater tank. I'll show you where we drain the freshwater tank. It's an absolutely stupid idea by Chausson. I don't know why they can't put a valve on it, which I'm going to look at doing and probably make a video on that when I decide to do it. But it's like a stop bung friction one, that quick release, but it's not that quick release because it's right underneath the skirt and bonnet, right underneath the floor, so you have to crawl on floor to physically get to take it off. Right, I'll show you where it is. I've had to put a mat down because you have to crawl on floor to actually get on the motorhome to undo it. But I'll show you where it is. Bear with me a minute. That's it, what a stupid design. So if I get some pipe and some fittings, and then I can physically run a pipe, so hopefully the valve will be there. Right, so you can see how awkward that is. If I do them modifications, I'll probably film it and show you what I do. Another silly idea that Chausson's come up is the actual wastewater drain. It's that close to the floor that if you don't want to move your motorhome aside, you can't get a bucket under it, or you can't get a waste hog under it. I'll show you that now. I'm thinking of cutting the 90-degree bend off and putting a 45-degree bend on, so that'll give you more room to drain off the water into some kind of bucket or something. I'll show you that now. As you can see, you've only got about 4 inches of ground clearance. The only good thing they've got is that pull handle operates a slide valve. It's fast draining, I must admit, but that design is absolutely stupid. But I'll come up with something to modify that to make it a bit easier to get a pipe on, etc. And I'll also be able to get some kind of bucket under it or something. I'll probably video that as well when I've done that, so hopefully you'll enjoy watching that one. Right, we'll go inside. Oh, by the way, I now I've drained it all, I'll leave that valve fully open, which is the wastewater drain. So any ice or anything that collects, it's got room to expand. Right, so starting in the bathroom, I'll show you what I do now. I've already drained all the water and everything, but I'll show you how I actually get most of the water out of the system. And I'm not sure whether I can get one of those, I forget what they're called, but you just build some pressure up in the pipework at motorhome, it blows any excess water out once it's been drained. But I'll just see how we go. We are going out in it in another week's time. We're just going to Hawes, and that'll be the last time for a few, probably 2 or 3 months. So I'll show you how I do that. Right, so we'll start with the shower. First thing I do is set the handle halfway and then pull it out. So you've got it on between hot and cold. I've already emptied the water, like I say. What I normally do is take the shower head off, unscrew the third pipe, let the whole pipe drain so there's no water in it, no chance for any ice to collect in it. I do the same thing with the taps in the bathroom. Sink halfway open, I've already pumped most of the water out. I'll leave the plug hole open. What we'll do then is we'll physically open all the cupboard doors so there's airflow around. I have got to take some things out, but I'm not doing that till we've really finished on the end of the season. And also the one under the sink, so we get airflow there as well. I also open the toilet seat. I always make sure that the slide valve is open. If it's shut, there's a chance of water and also over a period of time for the seal to stick to the slide. So when you open and shut the slide, it might damage it. I've also used the clean fresh water out of the flush by just keep pumping it well, and hopefully it's drained everything off. And also I've emptied the toilet carrier underneath, so that's empty, full of water. Right, so that's everything in the bathroom done. Oh, also in the bathroom I put one of those moisture traps in, and we come down periodically just to check it and empty it out and fill it all up. So that's the bathroom done. Right, so it's now in the bedroom. So I've left the, because we're using it again in a short period, I've left the memory foam mattresses on. But what we normally do is take the memory foam mattresses off and take them up home so they're warm and dry. What I physically do is open up all the cupboards so there's airflow into cupboards, leave them open, and same on this side. I've just got to empty any, because we've got children's colouring books, I've got to empty all that out yet so we don't collect any dampness, and sort that bit out. And also open the wardrobe door. On the bed, I physically open the bed up, I pull the mattress a little bit, and also, should have done this first, a bit awkward one-handed, pull the memory foam off a little bit so we get a bit of airflow, like that, and then lift up the mattress so we get some airflow underneath the bed. So on my side, I'll leave the blinds down and everything. I don't shut the blackout blinds, I just leave the net curtains so if there's any sunshine it warms the interior up. On this side I also do the same, leave the bed up, and under here is the Truma boiler, which is fantastic because it runs off diesel. But down there in the hidden depths, not sure whether you can see it, is the actual frost valve. So here's make sure that is open as well. But what you've got to do, you can see it, I'm not sure, might be a bit dark down there. So physically that's ready, and if there's any frost or anything it does just leak out. And at the back there, which is the most awkward place, is the actual water pump. I'm not quite sussed how to get without stripping a few things off, but I'll see how we go on that one. Right, so I'll leave that up, I'll leave that cover off so it leaves everything there, and I also do the same with the memory foam on this bed. So as you can see, we've all got plenty of airflow through it. And also, what I didn't realise, up in the roof light, there's a little lever here, and if it gets very windy, if you can see it, you can pull up and down, which isn't a good design because it's only hinged on one side. But if you click that little lever there, I'm not sure whether people know that, it actually locks it in position. So that's something I've learned and I didn't know about. I'll leave both the blinds open and let airflow come through. Right, so that is the bedroom done. Right, we'll move through to the kitchen. We'll do the same sort of thing. We'll open up the cupboard door, let some airflow. We'll open the drawer and the bottom cupboard, and I'll also open up the oven a little bit just to stop a bit of fresh air. I always leave that down, and of course we've got, as you can see, we've only had that in from a fortnight ago, and it's already collecting water, so it shows you how much moisture there is in a motorhome. Right, so that's the kitchen bit done. We'll move across to the fridge area. Right, so above the fridge is a small cupboard which I open up. We need to empty a few bits out of that. That's the things I modify, because whenever Loudon's put it in, they put that actual amplifier against there, so you couldn't actually push. It's about there, and you couldn't get your hand in to push the blooming aerial up, so I had to modify that. So I'll leave that open. The TV we always keep in. That's another thing I had to do that Loudon's did, because the TV, once I put the TV on, it wouldn't come out properly, so it wasn't far enough out, so I had to modify that myself. Below the fridge is another cupboard that we leave open. Just let some airflow in there, and then whenever we have been away, I've learnt the lesson that, which I only just found out, it gets very stale and mouldy inside the fridge. But in this little area there's a little bit of to do one-handed, bear with me. Right, I've managed to get it out now. There's a little lever there. If you actually push that in, and in there's a little hole it goes into, and it just keeps the door propped open. And it's the same on this one, which again is very awkward. And that one goes in from underneath. So that's airflow into the fridge. So physically, that's in here done. Right, we'll move through to lounge area and what I do there. Oh, I still leave the roof light, blinds open, so we get some sunlight coming in, and keep it if it does get a bit of sun, it warms up a little bit. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to say is I always leave the blind up on the kitchen and also the habitation door down, so it don't put any strain on the springs and that while it's overwintered. Right, so here we are in the lounge. What I always do now is physically move anything that is on the outside wall, so we get a bit of airflow through the back of the cushions, etc. And prop up the cushions there, so we get airflow through there, and also the same on the other side. So we physically can't say there's nothing touching the outside walls. Cupboard doors. Open all cupboard doors again, which is 3 cupboard doors under the drop down bed. Right, at the front I always keep the Remis blinds shut, whenever it's in storage anyway, and also I half close the overcab roof light blind, so it doesn't, even in summer I always do that, so it doesn't too much sunlight or whatever. Right, so I think the last thing to do is physically drop down the bed. I'll lower that down a bit, so we've got a gap above it. And then what I'll do is I'll have to have both hands, so I'll have to switch camera off. Right, now I've done that, what I physically do is drop down the bed, like I say, so far. I put the ladder at an angle. It's a bit awkward, but as you can see, but it lets a little bit of airflow go underneath the mattress, and also you get airflow on the top of the mattress. Also, I just make sure that all the power's switched off before leaving, and then I think that is about it. Right, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you learnt a few things. Maybe things I do aren't right, but over the other motorhome I had, I've always done the same kind of thing. So fingers crossed we don't get any damp issues. I come down probably, I try and get down every 2-3 weeks just to start engine up, etc. And over winter periods I'll take it for a little run, maybe every 3-4 weeks when we're not using it, so at least the wheels are still turning and the oil in engine's going round and things like that. But hopefully it'll not be long before we go back out again. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give me the thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more, and also please leave a comment. If you click the little notification bell, it'll tell you when I upload a new video as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, bye for now.